Hello and welcome back to Always in Escrow with Serena Appel and Colby Burchin. Hello, Colby.
Hi, how are you?
I am great because today we are speaking with Toby Corbin, the founder of Corbin Group, a London-based real estate agency specializing in luxury properties and investment advisory. After training with the iconic Hamptons International and studying business and communications in New York City, Toby set out to redefine what it means to buy, sell, and invest in high-end real estate. And beyond the property world, he's a savvy content creator, sharing market insights and lifestyle content across YouTube, social media, and podcasting platforms. We're thrilled to have him here to talk about his journey, the evolving luxury real estate market, and what it takes to build a brand in both the boardroom and online. Toby, welcome to our show.
Thank you. Thanks a lot for the intro. That was incredible. Thanks for having me, guys. I'm happy to be here.
Serena, I am completely I have to tell you, I'm in awe because Toby, I follow Toby. My wife got me hooked on Toby. He has, meanwhile, I don't even know how to describe it. Between the properties and his voice and his vision, he just gets people hooked. And I hope our audience gets to see that because he is really a mastermind at this. Toby, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Kobe. And once again, yeah, thank you for that. That's that's great. I appreciate it. I guess yeah, the hard work is working, I guess, to say
It's
the least.
paying Okay, so you trained with Hamptons International and then pivoted into founding Corbin Group. What inspired you to step out of your own and create a real estate agency for the modern world?
Funny enough, my first inspiration came from being in university, and a few of my friends were actually agents on the side. We were just talking a little while ago about side jobs. It's quite common in the US, and a few of my friends were agents. So I essentially got an early taste. I would hang out with them. They'd be like, "Hey, Toby, come hang out at my apartment." It ended up being an open house or just a place that they were showing, and like, I was with them on a day-to-day job. So eventually they were like, Toby, you know what, you'd be very good at this. And that stuck in my mind. So I got back after university and said, you know what, let me try this out. Let me see what I could do in this space. I ended up applying to a bunch of programs in the UK. Grateful to get picked up by Hampton's graduate scheme. And essentially, once I was in that program towards the end of it, I realized, you know what I was looking for was more of like a bespoke brokerage approach, which is very common in the States, obviously, but isn't very common in the UK. Uh, so I decided to pivot and figure out how I can really bring more of a personalized approach to the industry, but also to my own business and for my potential clients. So I ended up going independent. And funny enough, it ended up being right as COVID hit. So my first deals starting out my business was essentially me going through my phone book, my phone, and just calling everyone and saying, "Hey, it's Toby here. Just got into real estate. If you're looking to buy, sell, or rent, or if you know anyone that's looking to buy, sell, or rent." And that was the important part. I said, if you know anyone, because I didn't want to come across as pushy or desperate. As you know, it's never the greatest moment to be on the phone asking for business. So I said, if you know anyone. And then about 2 weeks later, a friend called back and said, "You know what, Toby? Yeah, I'm looking for a place with a few mates." So I ended up finding him at a house in Mayfair, and it was a big deal to transact in I guess one of the most renowned areas in Europe. And from there, I decided, okay, let me keep going. COVID hits, and then I'm stuck at home. And I remember this like yesterday, Kobe. I was panicking. I thought I made a massive mistake. It's trying to go independent. We can't do anything. It's lockdown. I decide, you know what? Let me try and save this. Let me, because if this doesn't work out in the next month, I have to go back. And that's fine. But I didn't want to. I wanted to try and see this out. So I start scouring the web. I go on social media. I find TikTok, and a few agents in the States are having success. A couple. I mean, there was nothing, groundbreaking, but I thought, you know what? Maybe I could do this, and maybe it will help with my marketing and branding. So decided to post a few videos. And mind you, I was always into taking photos and videos of properties, so I loved that side of things. And I ended up posting a video and it didn't go viral. It just had a few thousand views. But what stood out to me, Colby, was that a landlord in the building had said, "Hey, this looks interesting." Had commented, "Can you please send me more information?" And for me, that was like a light bulb moment. I decided, you know what, this app isn't just for people dancing, kids dancing, literally. Um, there's real potential clients on here. So I didn't stop posting from that day onwards. And that was 6 years ago now. And yeah, it's skyrocketed my business greatly, and it's what has led me here today. So I'm really grateful for the process. And I still consider myself fairly early in the industry compared to someone like yourself, Colby. And I always look up to the seasoned agents, but I'm just happy to be on the journey. And I think I'm really pushing and taking it a step at a time.
You deserve it. You really do. I'm telling you, I hope everyone sees it because you have such a vision, and it's eye appealing and everything positive.
Thank you.
Incredible pivot there. And yes, our COVID stories are all very unique. And your early beginnings are really fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing. So now that luxury real estate is such a niche, relationship driven space, how have you gone about building and maintaining trust with high net worth individuals? And what do you think today's luxury buyer is really looking for?
Yes, that's a fantastic question. That's something that starting out I had in mind because I've realized that, you know what, if I'm going to go into real estate, I want to try and do it at the best way possible, and at, probably the best level possible in terms of neighborhood, type and styles of homes. In the UK, we have like, I guess, 4 or 5 different architectural styles of homes. So we have the Georgian terrace homes, the Victorian, we have the Edwardian, and then we have your more modern homes. And I decided, I fell in love with Georgian homes very early on, and I decided, look, I want to work with these types of homes. These are the types of homes that I want to work with. So I decided, look, if I'm going to go into that space, I should start preparing myself, in terms of my marketing, my branding, my approach, and just really being, or trying to figure out how I can be as transparent as possible, whilst also bearing in mind it is a business, right? Because, and some things are worth not saying. It can't be a case of it's a see-through door for everything. I have to have my client's best interests at hand. So I decided, okay, let me work on my brand here. But most importantly, let me provide a service, kind of like a bespoke service, where they feel like I can take care of their needs. If they need advice on a restaurant, if they need advice on a potential area, and what's going on in the area, I'd be that person that could give them solid advice, or even a person that could go and find out what's going on in that area. So I decided, look, if I can provide a high touch service, um, that would be enough of a starting point to build trust for my high net worth clients. And then I layered that, I would say, with the personal branding and the marketing. I decided I wanted to create uh, engaging, eye catching, and kind of like, um, inspirational content that would inspire my potential clients, bring them in, and then they'd realize through the content that I was providing, because I was providing early on a lot of valuable content in a sense of like information on areas, prices in areas, how to rent, how to buy. I was providing a lot of this type of information. So I decided, I'll focus on the branding. I'll be, a bespoke high touch agent, and then it will kind of be like a funnel system where they'll get drawn into my content, and then they can see the rest of the things that I was providing, service wise and value wise. So yeah, I guess to answer the question in summary, it was something I really thought about, and I kind of planned out a way of approaching the industry at the medium to top end, as soon as possible, because that was where I saw my future essentially.
I see it. It was definitely a need. I mean, definitely people need that, and I think you captured it perfectly. So the London market is famously competitive, and you work with properties in other international destinations as well. What market trends are you watching most closely right now, and how are they shaping your advice to your clients?
Yeah, definitely. I think that one thing that I've noticed a lot, and it's definitely a trend, is kind of the global impact on real estate, especially at the high end. So you know, a lot of the buyers and even potential renters, but mostly I would say buyers are looking at the market from more of like a bird's eye view. So what I'm seeing that is if there's a lot of tension going on globally, things contract, people are uneasy, and a lot of the times they'll be more willing to rent. For instance, buyers are more looking to rent when they're seeing that there's a lot of tension going on. So I've seen the globalization of the world is having definitely having an impact on the higher end of the market. It is causing people to kind of sit in their hands a bit, but at the same time, um, on the opposite side of that, I've noticed that the right properties that are marketed well seem to always still generate inquiries and interest and offers regardless of the global tension. So it's funny because it's like I'm seeing both sides of the coin here. But I guess for me, because I'm very active on social media, I'm able to kind of get a first look at these things. Um, and it's really interesting because I do believe that, and that's one of the great things about real estate, is that there's always kind of a market for there's always a market there. And if me as an agent, I can engage and inspire a buyer to take action, or at least to see a property that they might be interested in, then that's what I love doing and love to do. So yeah, I'm definitely seeing the globalization of the world having an impact on the luxury market, uh, and at the same time, I'm seeing high end marketing being one of the most powerful ways of penetrating that.
I see the same thing here in South Florida, but I do think that it's funny. I call them a trophy property, something that just stands out that there's nothing else like it moves. I see that time and time again. That's keeps on selling.
Exactly. No, it's so true. We call it the same thing here in the UK, trophy assets. I mean, they are essentially once in a lifetime opportunities to acquire these assets, and a lot of people are interested in having that a part of their portfolio. But before it's gone, and I mean, you know this better than me, Colby. It's like once it's gone for how long? 20, 30 years, 40 years, maybe. Maybe it will never sell because they'll keep it in the family for an extended period of time. So yeah, the trophy assets are definitely ones to go when marketed correctly and when put out there in front of the right buyers.
Definitely.
Toby, you wear several hats: founder, real estate advisor, and content creator. How has creating content across platforms like YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn impacted your business and personal brand?
I mean, it's been a massive impact. Um, yeah, I've been able to kind of close a lot of deals through social media, and it's funny because it works in so many different angles. A lot of people might think it's just the buyer coming, looking at the videos, and then inquiring on the videos. A lot of the times, it will be someone looking to market their property, or someone who's shared a video to their friend who's inquired about the property, and then that's where the deals stem up, or even a lot of the times it's someone that has seen my videos, like you, Colby. Maybe they've been following me for a little while.
It's better than
Yeah,
Netflix.
yeah, exactly. Oh, thank you. That's a massive compliment. Um, it's the case that funny enough, I've just agreed a deal with a client today on a property, fantastic property, and she's been following me for a couple of years. She wasn't in the market yet, but she's now coming. She's moved to the UK, and then it's almost a year later that she's contacted me from the initial message, and we've now agreed on a deal. So it's like it's it's funny because it's very much like your standard real estate um, sales progression, in a sense that you know, if Colby meets someone at, I don't know, a local fair, he builds that relationship, and then they end up buying or selling with him 2, 3 years later down the line. It's just taken that same situation, but then applied it or put it on a social media feed, where I'm able to build those relationships through content, essentially. Um, so yeah, from the real estate deals, dealing with renters, buyers, sellers, to media partnerships where I'm now assisting major developers with marketing of their developments through my media agency called Media. Social media has been a massive impact for me. It's had a massive impact on my businesses, and yeah, I use these as tools to essentially run my businesses, assist my clients, and get my name out there and the brand out there efficiently, so that I could, I guess, conduct the best business for my clients as possible, as they say.
You know what? It's true. I tell Serena this all the time. This avenue of the podcast helps my business. It gets more listeners, and they remember you. And I do a lot of videos. My partner in real estate and I do a lot of videos, and people look for it. Like they notice that I'm always in the pool of any of our listings, and if I'm not in the pool, they contact me. Why weren't you in the pool? So it's
That's
those little things that people remember.
yeah.
That's amazing that she reached out.
That's a really
Um,
cool branding message there that you got with the pool. I love that. I won't steal
yeah.
it, by the way, Colby. But we don't have any pools here anyway, so
Oh,
just in the new developments, we don't really have too many villas with pools or outdoor pools, shall we say? So
Well, you could be in the lift.
in the left, yeah.
Many of our listeners are entrepreneurs or aspiring founders. What's one lesson from your journey building Corbin Group that you'd share with someone starting out in a relationship driven, high stakes industry?
Understanding your clients' needs as soon as possible, in a sense of, it can be hard sometimes as salespeople, at least from my own experience, is that, we want to kind of to sell them, in essence. We want them to engage with what we have to offer, but sometimes what we have to offer isn't what they want. Uh, so so really understanding what they want and getting to know them, building a relationship with them, will be the easiest way to for both for you to provide value as an agent, um, and for them to receive that value as a potential client. So I guess it goes back to like the whole patience of it, of taking your time, really, has been the biggest kind of learning for me over the years. And it's something that it's hard to forget. And that's just because, I want to get to close, or I want them to get what they want as soon as possible. But sometimes they don't want what I want on my time, or what I think that they want. It's going to take more time for them to realize. So so that's been something that I can say is a great learning, that anyone else can implement, hopefully.
So, what's next for you in Corbin Group? Any new projects, markets, or trends you're excited to explore in the next year or so?
Yes, so I think that there's definitely some international um, kind of partnerships on the line right now, which I'm excited about. So definitely looking to go overseas, with regards to agency. I think that we're dealing at the mid to high end of the market, but also, and it's funny because I say mid to high end a lot, but it's not an exclusive service. What I can say is that because I work in a city like London, it's one of the top three cities, maybe top two in the world, right? It's very competitive here, which obviously then has an impact on standard of living, on the types of people that are coming here. People from all around the world are coming here to be the best that they can be. So essentially, then I guess that provides uh, a market in itself of people that are looking for certain properties sometimes, and then the market in London can translate to the market in New York, which can translate to the market in Miami, or anywhere else in Florida, which can translate to LA and Dubai. So I guess it just makes sense, for me to be assisting clients overseas. So yeah, definitely going to be looking at more overseas work, um, which is going to be coming very soon.
Exciting. Yeah.
Well, we are so excited. How could people find you, watch your videos? Please tell everyone.
Yeah, definitely. So on Instagram, it's Toby Albert. On on TikTok, it is London Real Estate, and then on YouTube, we just launched a new channel called Refined Living, which just it dives into incredible places and spaces and the stories of the people behind them, which we've been excited to launch. It's been doing very well in terms of audience engagement. So yeah, that's another place you can find me, find us.
Well, get your popcorn ready, audience, because you are going to be thrilled to watch his videos. You're going to be sucked in. Toby, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We appreciate you and we love your videos.
Thanks for having me, Colby. It's been a pleasure being on here. And looking forward to, I guess, building this relationship, see where we go.